go ahead and settle in to begin today's class. Today we're going to be focusing on a little bit more restful of a flow. A little bit more yin inspired to bring in some calm. So find a position of ease, something that feels good for you. Maybe you're seated on your shins, maybe you're crisscross applesauce as we prepare to begin today's flow. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let the world slow down a bit. Try to control your breath in all the way down into that low belly, feeling that diaphragm expand out into your rib cage, into your low back. And then allow that breath to slowly move back out through the nose or mouth as you allow the body to relax, let go of tension. Today we will focus on calming down the nervous system with our breath, moving out tension with our movements, relaxing into discomfort. Your job as we move through today's practice is to remain present with yourself, grounded in this present moment with all five senses. As your mind tries to steal you away into what comes next after you leave this room, maybe even the next movement in the flow. Or it tries to pull you back into reflection, looking at the past, looking at what the rest of the day has looked like so far. Your job is to gently remind your mind to be here instead. Ground yourself in this moment by coming back into this breath and its three parts: the inhale, the hold, and the exhale. Everything slows down as we begin to flow. On your next inhale, I invite you to take your hands out to your sides and then lift them up over your head. As you exhale, the right hand comes to your left knee as you look over the back shoulder in a twist. You're sitting up nice and tall, and as you exhale, you can come a little bit deeper. You don't have to pull or tug. Just a little bit more as you are allowed additional space in that exhale. Back some love. Inhale back to center. And exhale, we move to the other side. Exhaling into that twist. Again, your inhale, allowing you to draw your posture upright. Your exhale, allowing you to come a little bit deeper into this pose. Sort of like wringing out the spine like a washcloth. Feel your rib cage expand on your inhale and come a little bit deeper on your exhale. Notice the sensations that come up at each point of breath. breath. Inhale back to center. And exhale, go ahead and take your right hand down to the mat as you take your other hand to the top of your head. We're going to pull ear to shoulder, so creating a nice open space, long line from your wrist all the way up to the top of your neck. It's gentle. If you'd like to deepen that stretch, you can take that hand that's on the ground back behind you. It'll just open things up a little bit more, making sure your shoulder is rolled back and down. And then gently release back to center as you switch sides. Ear to shoulder. Nice long line. Breathing into the neck tissue. And again, if you'd like to intensify this stretch, the hand that's connected to the ground, you're just going to put it back behind you, rolling that shoulder back and down to open things up a bit more. If that's too intense, feel free to just tuck it down to the ground again. Breathe into your neck. Gently tip that neck back to center. The arms are both going to come up, clasping, and bring them back behind the nape of your neck, allowing the elbows to draw in towards each other. The chin melts down towards the chest. Gentle pressure as you stretch the back of the neck. Don't forget your breath. Down into your low belly, exhaling out through the nose. Inhale, lift the head, open your elbows up. Stretch for the chest. And then go ahead and lift the hands up and roll the wrists all the way down. We're going to roll up over the knees, getting ourselves into child's pose. The knees go wide, the big toes together, sinking your heels to connect to your glutes. Reach your fingertips forward. Release your forehead down to the mat. Give it a little rock back and forth. And as you continue to breathe, exhale any tension that you might be holding in the muscles of your face. Let everything grow loose. Lengthening through the muscles of the back. Allowing your belly to relax. Grow soft, your hips, inner thighs. As you find pockets of tension, I implore you to relax them using your exhale. Calm, restored in the body. Slowly walk your hands back towards the body. Coming onto your shins, we're going to take our toes down into the mat and then slowly walk the heart up. We're going to give our feet some love. The farther you lean back, the more pressure you'll put on those toes, but we're going to stretch into this often used tissue and often neglected tissue. Taking deep, intentional breaths. We won't be here long. And slowly walking the hands back down as you release the toes. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, the arms rainbow out. We're going to go ahead and walk back into an all-fours position, keeping a 90-degree angle in the legs. We're simply going to walk the hands out in front of us, bowing the chest. This is puppy pose. Your forehead releases down. It's a bit like child's pose, except for a bigger release on the core, on the back. We maintain that 90-degree angle between the toes, the knees, the glutes, as we allow our chest to collapse down into the mat. Reach the fingertips forward. Send a big, deep breath into your belly. And exhale. Relax. One more deep breath in. One more exhale out. Slowly begin to shift your weight forward, your hips forward, keeping your forearms connected in to the ground. Your elbow will be directly underneath your shoulder. Release your glutes. You can give a little rock in your hips if you need to give a little proprioceptive reminder to turn them off. Reach up through the heart. This stretch should be right above your low back, so not in your low back. If you have tension there, again, rock through the hips so that you can release your glutes. You're not holding any tension there. Breathe deeply into your belly. As you press into the forearms, you lift the head. This is Sphinx pose. Slowly, we're going to take our hands back down and stack them one on top of the other, releasing the forehead down like it's a little pillow. Rock your hips back and forth into the mat. This is going to help relax your nervous system. We store a lot of extra tension here in the hips. And as we rock, we find a little bit of release for the pelvic floor, the hip flexors. Find stillness. The tops of your feet should be connected down into the mat. I want you to find a little rock now in your heels from side to side. Trying to make your legs as much like Jell-O as they can possibly be. Continuing to breathe. You take another few seconds to continue this rock. And relax. Lastly, in our rocking series, your heels are going to kick up. So you're going to find a 90-degree angle in the legs. And just gently, like windshield wiper motions, allow your heels to fall towards either side. Gentle, nothing too fast. You're going to allow your legs to sway side to side in this 90-degree angle. Again, this feels silly maybe to some of us, but it can help calm your nervous system, reset things, lower cortisol. And go ahead and stop, releasing one leg and down the other, back into the mat. As you take your hands back underneath of your shoulders and press all the way up. Exhale down. We're going to do that 4 more times. 1 breath and then exhaling down. Creating a little bit of mobility in the low back through this movement. If any of you have done physical therapy here at the SEL clinic, you might be familiar with this one. Last one. And if you can, go ahead and press back into a child's pose. Slowly walk your hands back in towards your body. Lift through the torso. We're going to press all the way up and take the left foot out in front of us into a 90-degree angle. Here our hands can move down into our hips as we gently press forward. So we're not going to be leaning too far into it. For now, just keep your pelvis aligned underneath of you, underneath the torso, as you stretch forward enough to where you can feel a little tug here in the front of that hip. Send your breath there. It doesn't have to be exaggerated. If you can feel that stretch happening, if you can feel into it with your breath, relaxing into those tissues, it's enough. Yoga can be very gentle and very effective. If you'd like to intensify that stretch, you can go ahead and lift through that same side hand. You should feel it move now into that tissue on the side of the body. You can even give it a little bit of a stretch over to the side. Breathe. Release the hands back onto the hips. Taking one more deep breath in. And then shift your weight back, taking your hands to spider web into the mat, lifting the toe up, flexing the foot if you can, to move that stretch to the back of the leg. Your heart shines towards your toes. slowly trying to decrease that space between your belly and your hips. Slowly walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Hands to frame the foot, so the foot comes center. Flip your back toe into the mat, lift up into a full low lunge if that's available to you. Little rock back and forth. And then find stillness. If you can go ahead and stack and switch sides. Releasing the top of that foot, walking up, hands to the hips. Once again, 90-degree angle in the front leg. As you lift up through the crown of the head, press your pelvis underneath of you. Feel that stretch move in the front of your hip flexor. Little baby adjustments, making sure the hips are squared towards the front of the room. Deep breathing all the while. Again, if you'd like to intensify this stretch, you can reach up through the hand, feel it move through your side body. Maybe even take a little baby reach towards the side. As long as you still have that stability available to you. If you're in a reach, go ahead and bring the hand back down to the hips. One last final breath in. Exhale. We're going to take the hands down, walk them back, lifting that toe, stretch into the back of the leg. Reach your heart towards those toes. Feel that stretch run up your hamstring. Breathing all the while. Slowly walk your hands forward. Foot comes to the middle of the mat, hands to frame. Flipping the back toes in, lift into a low lunge, little rock back and forth. Add a little bit of movement. Rock out any stored energy. And then find stillness. If you can step back, please do. Find downward facing dog. One nice big stretch, long back. Release those heels. And then one at a time, allow the shins to come down, finding child's pose. Big toes together. Fingertips reach out. Breathe deeply into rest. Relax your belly. Rock your forehead back and forth. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of the room. Your left hand moves on top of the right. Stretch through your side body. couple deep breaths. Inhale, untangle back to center. Exhale, walk over to the left. Right hand over left. Deep, intentional breaths into the belly. Walk the hands back to center. One last reach forward. And then walk the hands back towards the torso, rolling the knees out, and go ahead and come to lay on your back. Before we move into Shavasana, we're going to once again just shake out some stale energy from the hips. Taking the hands to the low belly, you're going to allow your knees to just barely rock back and forth. A centimeter or two. And then slowly giving yourself a little bit of a wider reach in that rock. As you do so, breathe deeply. Do you feel it? The hips, the pelvic floor release. Tiny little rocking motion, soothing your body into calm. Find stillness. Do a body scan from the top of your head to the base of your toes. And then one at a time, hug the knees into the chest. Curl your chin up into your chest. Give a nice big hug, tight little ball. And then as you exhale, relax your heels to the wide edges of your mat. Your hands at your sides, palms facing up for final Shavasana. Calm. Rest. Embody these things as you release one muscle group at a time. Unbind. Unwind. Take one last deep breath in through your nose and relax any remaining bits of tension. And begin to awaken your bodies, giving a little wiggle in your fingers and your toes. As you feel ready and led, you can make your way into a seated position for final salutation. Thank you all for joining today. As a reminder, this is our last class of the session. So if you would like to continue on with yoga, you can go ahead and register online at SEOWellbeingCenter.com. We will keep this same time and classroom. So if you'd like to rejoin, please do. Otherwise, thank you for being part of this session. We appreciate your attendance and hope that you're enjoying Walk It Out this week. For those of you participating, I leave you with one final namaste. Thank you.